Good morning. Welcome to Coffee with Alain. Today's going to be a little bit different show. Going to piss everybody off. Why do I say that? Well, because everybody's been pissed off at some of what I said. And that's okay. I'm going to say some things that need to be said. And if you listen with me to the very end and think about what I'm saying, maybe we can make a difference. First thing, today is September 11th. And today we honor the bravery, the sacrifice, and unity that arose from tragedy. Patriot Day reminds us to never forget the lives lost and to always strive for a better, safer world. I think we need to remember that. Sadly, the younger generation, my daughter is graduating from college soon. She's a senior, and she wasn't born when 9/11 happened. So there's a generation that don't have a clue. But those of us that do remember that day, remember exactly where I was, what I was doing, and when it happened, as do many, we need to remember that. And we need to remember the feeling we had after that day when we came together. Now I want to talk about a little bit of stuff that's been in the news. The murder of Charlie Kirk yesterday sickens me, just as the murder of Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark sickens me. Just like the kids that were shot in Colorado high school yesterday sickens me. Like the kids that were killed and shot in Minneapolis last month sickens me. Like every person that's been killed in an active shooter incident sickens me. Like Ira, is it Zarutsky, the Ukrainian woman that was murdered in Charlotte a week or so ago, sickens me. Like the guy who had his head cut off in Dallas, Texas yesterday, that sickens me. The 50 people that were murdered yesterday, that will be murdered today, that will be murdered tomorrow, sickens me. I say that because on average 19 to 22,000 people are murdered in the United States a year. And yes, this year the murder is a little bit down from other years, but we're still averaging over 50 people murdered a day. And they all sicken me. We have no place for political violence. We have no place for violence. That's why I spend my time trying to help people be safe. And all of it sickens me. But what saddens me is the way people behave. The comments and the things I read yesterday make me sad. And I have said that I abhor violence and we need to work together, and both the left and the right slammed me for it. Both sides says, no, Alain, you're wrong. You don't understand. The liberals are demons and they are all evil. Alain, you don't understand. The Republicans are all evil and fascists. There can never be anything until we eliminate all the Democrats. There can never be anything until we eliminate all the Republicans. That saddens me. Because I'm old enough to remember a time where Ronald Reagan and Tip O'Neill went out and had a drink together and got along and never called each other the vile names that Democrats and Republicans call each other today. That's what's really sad. I do not know anything about Charlie Kirk. When I was teaching a class yesterday, before we started the class on Zoom, somebody asked if I heard the news about that, and I actually thought it was somebody else at first. I recognized the name, but I was thinking it was someone else. And then no, it's this person. I actually know absolutely nothing about him. I If he would have walked up to my door and rang the doorbell yesterday morning, I wouldn't have known who he was. I have never listened to anything he has said. I don't listen to a lot of political garbage on either side because I hate the divisiveness and the fighting, and I rather spend my time helping people be safe and spreading positive messages, which nobody listens to because everybody likes the divisiveness. Everybody likes the scandals. Everybody likes the bullshit because it gets them angry. And when they get angry, they comment more. And social media and the media love that because if they can get you pissed off and commenting and engaged, they can sell more to advertisers. Who gives a shit about the guy that's saying a positive message? That doesn't excite people and get them worked up. So we can't get advertising dollars. But here's what I do know about Charlie Kirk from reading yesterday. Half the people out there love him and making him a martyr and idolize him, and half the people despise and hate him. And it was sickening to see and sad to see all the comments going back and forth. People calling for others to be murdered, people rejoicing in his murder. That's terrible. That is terrible. But then you turn around to the other side and you have people bashing all liberals when it wasn't all liberals rejoicing in his death. And we don't even know the person who killed him yet. They haven't caught him. We don't know why. You know, the guy that shot Ronald Reagan wasn't a liberal doing it for a cause. He was a nut job doing it for Jodie Foster. So we don't know for sure. You know, they're saying he might have taken the shot from 150 to 200 yards. And then, when you got all the internet experts, it must have been a sniper, a professional hit, and this and that. And we don't know. And then you have the conspiracy people saying it was actually the Republicans did it because they want to get the Republicans violence and war against the liberals. See, you got those conspiracy theories going on. And nobody knows. People are just posting and shouting and screaming on the internet. So much nonsense. And it's the divisiveness that is really sad. That people can't have a conversation about ideas. I have seen liberals posting hating Republicans because they want the best for the United States. And I've seen Republicans post that they hate the liberals because they want the best for the United States. But they won't talk to one another. They just hate each other and think their side is the only side that's right. And then we paint liberals and we paint Republicans as evil, as the enemy. So your enemy is half the United States? That is stupid. It really is. And it's wrong. And we can't demonize the people for their ideas. We can criticize ideas, but we can't demonize the whole half of the country because of their political party. That's ridiculous. But I was called ridiculous for saying that. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about because all liberals are evil. I was told that yesterday. And then someone else told me there would be no conversation because all Republicans are evil. I was told that yesterday too. Again, I must be saying something right because I got both sides angry at me and saying I'm wrong. Because I don't look at somebody and say he's a Democrat, he's evil, or he's a Republican, he's evil. I think that's ridiculous to do. I will look and say that liberal policy is asinine. That Republican policy is ridiculous and stupid because both sides have some ridiculous, stupid ideas. And the farther left and the farther right you get, the crazier they get. Because really, it's somewhere in the middle that is going to profit and help most Americans and make the country better. But people don't see it that way. Actually had people yesterday calling for a civil war. Do you really know what that fucking means? If you are calling for a civil war, excuse my French, but you are fucked in the head if you think that's the answer. You want families killing each other? Do you want our country destroyed? Do you want death and destruction everywhere? That's what a civil war is. The guy, I said, this was posted, and by more than one person, but I copied one person. Bring on the Civil War. I cannot wait. What a fucking moron. Wanting a civil war. Wanting Americans killing Americans. Wanting Americans to destroy our country. You know, it's... And again, I've seen people calling for the death of other people, wanting Trump next, Elon next, who next, this next, cheering for the death of somebody. That's terrible. And you're screwed up in the head if you're doing that. But you're also screwed up in the head if you're blaming every Democrat for it as well. Because it's not. Enough of that. The last thing I wanted to mention is this country was based on free speech. And we need to have freedom of speech. And freedom of speech does not mean speech that we agree with only. I've worked security for Bernie Sanders when he was in Montana. Did not agree with everything he said. I've worked security for white supremacists. Definitely did not agree with what they were saying. They both had a right, and everybody has a right to voice their opinions in appropriate manners, in appropriate spaces, free of violence. And the university campus is a place that should be a place that people can spout any kind of ideas, any kind of beliefs without violence. We need that as a people. We need that as a country. And just because you disagree with somebody's ideas and beliefs, we can't get violent over it. We can share our beliefs. We can counterpoint in an actual debate and be positive and constructive. No use for the violence. And anybody that condones it, anybody that partakes in it, anybody that wishes it, anybody that applauds it, you're part of the problem. Anybody being divisive and saying that all Democrats are evil, all Republicans are evil, you're part of the problem. That's not how we help our country, save our country, because our country's a mess right now. And it's not by pointing the fingers and blaming. It's not by demonizing. It's not by suppressing free speech. It's by encouraging free speech, encouraging dialogue, more conversation, working together for the best of the country. And so many people don't want to do that. And that is really sad. I've preached long enough. I'm going to go do something positive. I'm going up the mountain with my dog, Rocky. Breathe some fresh air, clear my head, and not think about all the terrible things going on. I'm going to go up there, have fun with him. Then I'm going to come back and work on something positive to help people. And if more people would do that, instead of getting on the internet and posting all this vile hatred, we'd be a lot better off. Thank you for everybody that joined and commented. I'm not going to reply right now. I'm just going to say thank you to all of you. I am going to sign off. Go out. Make it a terrific Thursday. Remember those that lost their lives on 9/11. take a moment to remember the feelings we had after 9/11 when we did come together. And let's try to think of a way we can make the world a little better and safer place.